I would say this is one of the more effective videos that I have recorded in the recent past. Monday morning is a very effective time for idea phasing and for planning for the A game of your occupation. If you take any business, for example, that business has been into this market for so many years, for so long years, because of one person. Somebody has started an idea and the person has organized it as a company platform, and he has recruited some people and he has built a vast business empire having that particular one idea as a grounded foundation. You take any company for that matter. Let's take a Tata group of companies. Let's take Infosys in IT industry. Let's take a Sterlite group of industries which had been recently into lots of controversy. Let's take Godrej. Let's take Procter and Gamble. Let's take Ashok Leyland and Mahindra for that automobile industry matter. Or let's take telecommunication network, Reliance Jio. Any industry has been started by one man. It has been started with one insight, with one idea by that one man. If you take Dhirubhai Ambani, he was that man. If you take J.R.D. Tata, he was that man in Tata Group. Likewise, when new business entrepreneurs start the idea, they are not seeing it on a long-lasting basis. Maybe today I'm just a sole proprietor, a small company owner, a medium-sized company owner, and tomorrow, in the future, down the line, my business is going to become a vast business empire. That projection is not available in today's youngsters. When I was a youngster, if you ask me, did I have this foresight? Yes, I had. I had a little bit of foresight. I would say a little bit. That's a crucial word here. That was the mistake that I had committed. But I had foresight. I had foresight that I will be working as a freelance independent person at least for a decade. I had that foresight. If not any other thing for that matter, I had that foresight that I will be surviving in this market, doing whatever I have the wish to do, doing whatever that comes best for me. Monday morning, 9 o'clock, so kindly adjust with the automobile horns because people are trespassing here and there. Because I'm speaking about Monday morning, that's why I made this live recording on Monday morning, 9 o'clock. Irrespective of the fact that these trespassing horns will be very annoying for listeners like you. Accept my apologies for that. Coming back, so I was having that foresight at least. Like I would be certainly withstanding in this freelance industry, and I did. This is my 12th year. So I can at least stick my neck out and say that I'm fit for speaking about this subject on this video. Right? So this foresight, that foresight has to be milked. I recently came across a book. The book's name is Thrift, written by Orison Swett Martin. I would like to show you the excerpt of that book. Just like Thrift, there is one more book in this huge Orison Swett Martin's collection of books, and that book is called as The Victorious Attitude. The book's name itself is Victorious Attitude. And there, Orison Swett Martin speaks about the spirit in which you are facing a problem, the spirit in which you are looking into the obstacles. That has to be very much strong. That has to be so profound. It has to be so electrifying, very passionate. And only then you will be called as a victorious attitude person. See, this made me think, or this took me back to my 8th standard days, 7th grade, 8th grade when I used to dream very big, and I used to think, my conscious mind was thinking that, see, we are having this many dreams, we are having this kind of profound big picture of how our life has to be. Is it really right? Or is it a big mistake that we are committing? And that little mind in that age was having too many confusions. Am I right? Have I made a mistake? Thinking like this is it really good? Thinking that I have superhuman powers, thinking that I'm a Superman, thinking that my childhood heroes or my persona thinking that my personality factors are just like that particular childhood hero that I have seen, that particular superhuman hero that I'm seeing on the television. I'm going to become like that person. I'm going to become like this person. I can also become like this person. These kinds of thoughts, are they real? Are they true? Do they really have any meaning at all? This is what my mind used to think during that boyhood stage. This book, my dear friends, says that thinking is right. That's the way to think. And it has taken almost about 23 years for me to realize that a person in 1901 and 1902 by the name of Horizon St. Martin has already written everything as a gospel truth, and he has written these things in his book, that that's the way you're supposed to live, that's the way you're supposed to think, and that's the way you're supposed to hold the picture in your mind. This book, Victoria's Attitude, speaks all about that. Well, I'm happy that I have been thinking on that way. I'm really happy that I have been doing whatever that has been suggested in this book. How about you? What kind of life you are living now? What are the current problems and uncertainties you are facing? What are the key stress points you are having right now? Is it about your family? Is it about your career? Is it about your everlasting funds problems? Whether I'll be able to pay these bills? Is my occupation going to be right? Don't worry. Don't worry. Things will automatically find their own places. They will sit in their own places. You have only one responsibility. And that responsibility is walk like a tiger. Have a very big faith. And no matter what, things will definitely work for me. Have that faith. Your good deeds and the work that you had done in the past will save you. Your good service-mindedness and contribution mindset that you had in the past will save you. The ability that you had, the faith that you had on your talent, and the execution of that talent towards your work will come and save you. I'm saying this out of my experience. At some point of time, my mind will start thinking, what's my role? What's next? Yeah, we have completed this program and we have come back home. Okay, what's next? Who's going to book me next? Who's going to give me the contract for work next? Which college? Which company? Which unit? My mind will start thinking like that, and Monday morning when you wake up as an entrepreneur and when you don't have any sort of current order in your hand, and I used to think, what now? What am I going to do this week? So in early phases of Christianity, they used to pay for the bread. They used to pay for, Lord, bless us with the bread. Bless us with today's bread. Bless us with today's glory. Bless us with today's kind of happiness. I heard this prayer statements in one of the Pentecostal prayers when I accompanied my friend to a church. And that was very impressive. And I saw a particular person who had been facing a lot of failures reciting those prayer statements with a lot of faith. I started applying that in my life. I saw that particular incident when I was 19. I was a college student then. I'm still doing that. What do you think? The opportunities and the future are going to be spread like sheet of paper in front of you when you're walking about? No. What you are doing today is going to determine your tomorrow. Likewise, what you have done yesterday is going to be determined with today. I have the faith that in all these years I have done so many good things in my profession. I have a faith that so many people's smiles have been brought up because of my service. So many people's confidence has been raised up because of my service. And that is bringing my next bread. This applies for me, this applies for you, this applies for any multinational corporation boss. And this even applies for the leader of a nation. I'll show you a statement. I want you to have a clear look at these three statements. We should all go through life as though we were sent here with sublime mission to lift, to help, to boost, and not to depress and discourage. Man was made for thinking about glory. He was made for living happy. He was made for living with a lot of abundance in thinking. If not materialistic, at least in thinking, we should have that abundance. Walking with the head held high is what is more important right now with the current government circumstances that we are levered into as an Indian citizen. We never know when the bread is going to come, and we never know what kind of taxes are going to be levied on the bread. When demonetization came, we thought it was a disaster, and we will not be surviving it. We survived. When new forms of taxes were levied, we thought it was a disaster. We would not be able to survive. We survived. When the new farmer law was given to the agriculturists, those people were thinking that they will not be able to survive. They are surviving. We will survive. Uncertainties are always going to come and lash out on our face. But yet we will survive. Challenges will come to us, and it will stand in front of us and stating that your self-worth is going to be ridiculed. But still we will stand that. We will survive. You can ask me, why are you so much determined? How come you are so much determined? I always live in the dark. Let me tell you some trivial situations of my profession. Challenge number one, you will not be paid with the money that you are asked for. I fix up a price tag and I submit an invoice and I am not paid the money, the kind of money that I am expecting for my job. And very limited situations where I have been given the deserving money. Challenge number two, in the weakness of looking forward to very quick shortcut results, people try to book me and they ask me if I could deliver my service for their institution or their enterprise. And then I would even book the dates and they would give me the kind of job description and stuff, and I would start preparing for that, and in the final moment the program will get cancelled. The challenge number three is you travel all day long and you go to that particular place and you try to exert your services, and you feel so good after delivering that program, and the very next day you witness that the people who are living there, the people who are working in that particular enterprise, they themselves, without their knowledge, they will work against that kind of inspiration and motivation that I had given for them the previous day. These are the kind of challenges I'm experiencing in this profession. But God has been always very kind. My dad has always been very kind. I still exist. With that kind of victorious attitude that I have asked you to have as a remarkable trait, I still exist. I still exist. The formula of victorious attitude is very simple, my dear friends. Face the storm and have that biggest belief inside, deep down inside, as an unflickering candle that I will survive, I will exist no matter what. And having that vested belief, keep working with new plans, devise new plans, strategize new ideas. That's how these corporate companies survive. You are a salaried person right now, right? In some enterprise. I'm speaking about that chairman of that enterprise. The enterprise in which you are part of. The chairman or the group of chairmen who are holding that company, who are holding the stocks of the company. These people were not salaried people. They believed in themselves. Your chairman, I'm speaking about your chairman and the group of chairman or group of treasury or secretary, whoever it may be, whatever the kind of channel description that you are giving for the hierarchy, I would like to say that those people had survived. And you are a salaried person in that particular enterprise. And if you have a business idea, and if you want that business idea to be milked, why don't you adopt the same attitude that your chairman had? The group of chairmen, they have an attitude, right? So why don't you apply that attitude? Because they stood all the deviances, they stood all the obstacles, they stood all the kind of adversities. Why not you and me do the same? Well, Manikandan Sundaresan, I am not an entrepreneur of material, I am a salaried professional. Right. So then if you're a salaried professional, then what is stopping you? Can you tell me that you are not stressed? Why are you getting stressed? Some set of lagging and lacuna are always there for all of us. And that's because of our doubt on our own self. That's where I would like to influence the victorious attitude. That's where I would like to influence. That's where I want you to think that you will always remember to walk with your head held high. There are so many occasions where I thought this is going to be the end of the rope, and some hand will come and give me that capture and it will lift me up with one more chance. And that hand has been God's kindness. And that kindness has been available to me just because I have done a good work in the previous project. Simple. I had gone the extra mile. Maybe if I had been paid almost about say 20,000 or 25,000 for a project, I would have worked with the services worth of more than 20 lakhs. I would have given my best. I would have gone the extra mile, and that's why it comes like a boomerang to me. So good deeds and good work will save you. It will save you. And hold the victorious attitude. And don't allow that tiny doubt to creep into your mind. That, oh my God, am I failing? That bloody doubt. That should never come into your mind. Savor the moment. Enjoy the moment. Believe very hardly in every single moment that things are going to be right for you. Things are going to be good for you. Things are going to be glorious for you. It may be appearing as a dark thing. It may be appearing as a monster, but I will be rising up to the occasion, even bigger monster, and I will face it. Say that deep down within yourself. That's all I wanted to say this individual. Hold the victorious attitude. And people should say, oh my God, here comes a winner. And the fate devil should say, oh my God, here comes a bigger devil even than me. Live such a life because you deserve it. Thank you for your time.